Welcome.
Welcome back. We forgot how to podcast because, we took a little break, but we are back for one final episode of
We are.
season
We
1.
missed you. We
We
did.
missed
We
you guys a
really
lot.
missed this.
And to be honest with you guys, we didn't really mean to take a break, but we were wrapping up our weddings. It was the holidays. And if you're a wedding vendor, the final stretch between October and November is just like crazy madness, no matter where you are.
And we need to deliver you the best podcast episode. So we needed to take a couple weeks to just wrap it all up. And now we're ready to end our season.
With a bow, of course.
Tied in a perfect bow.
A perfect bow. We love bows around here, if you
I
guys were
know.
not aware.
I
But
love a bow.
we're
So don't
excited.
worry. We're still us. We have our Diet Coke. We're not together. We are not in the same room today. So we had to make sure that we were still representing the true Vow Factor
That's right.
brand with our crispy DC.
So everybody, grab your crispy DC if you have one. If not, pause this, run to the store, grab yourself the perfect, cutest little mini Diet Coke, because that's what Jesse and I prefer to drink. It's so cute.
Yes, I prefer this because then you can drink the whole thing with it staying
Yes.
cold and crispy. If it's
Yes.
like a bottle or too big, it's not the same all the way through.
It's not. And I learned this because over Thanksgiving, I went to my in-laws and my mother-in-law only buys like the 20-ounce bottles of Diet Coke, which I'm like,
Oh.
wow, it's like getting a full-size candy bar during Halloween. It's just like amazing. Fridge is stocked with all of these like full-size bottles of soda. But like I just could never finish it. And then I was like, I feel so bad that like I have all these half-drink bottles of Diet Coke everywhere. So anyway, 7.5 fluid ounces. Works well for
Perfect.
us. Here we
Yeah.
go. Crack it open, everyone.
A little ASMR. Oh my God, with my nails. Hold on.
Mine's getting a little juicy.
That sound, it's so good.
Cheers, darling, to a very first successful season.
A very successful first season. You said it, and I went, I know what
I
you
did
meant.
too. I kind of went, that doesn't
But it
sound
was
right.
our very first successful season, as well as our first successful season. So,
True.
a successful first season. You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
The same both ways. It's fabulous.
Mm-hmm. We have to immediately talk about what happened yesterday.
The absolute coolest thing I really think that's ever happened. It was something that we did not even consider being a possibility. But
I never thought about it once throughout the year, to be honest with you.
Spotify Wrap came out, and so many of you had us as your top podcast.
Which is insane. It is insane. And
we were like, oh my, what? I was like this
the
is
honor of a lifetime.
Crazy. This is the craziest thing. But like, it also made us feel really good that we made the right decision in starting this, because your messages made us really happy and excited to plan a lot more for the podcast, and also made us really start reflecting on everything that we've done, and getting all of your feedback and everything has just meant the world. So thank you so much for your constant support. This has been quite the journey, and we're so excited that it's just getting started.
It's just getting started. Also, too, like, it just was so crazy because I feel like all of us have a very similar taste in podcasts and like listen to some of the same podcasts. And to see our podcast be number one over those very established, very like financially backed podcasts. I mean, we beat out one of the number one podcasts in the world for like several of you, which is crazy.
It's crazy because we're going to tell you a story later, so keep that in mind. But it was
keep that tucked in the back of your mind.
Keep that tucked, because honestly, it was so validating.
It was validating. It was a little full circle. Not quite yet, but like.
No, we were working on a project earlier this year, and it had to do with another podcast. And man, yesterday felt real good. Felt so good.
Very, very good. So if you have a podcast network and you're listening to this specific episode, just know We're ready.
We're
We're ready
ready.
for you.
And other people fumbled. They
So,
fumbled. So,
well, maybe not. Who knows?
well, they are currently fumbled. Maybe
Currently, they're currently fumbling, but
they'll recover, right? That's what it's
we can
called.
we can recover. We can get better.
Yeah. We're
We
going
can
for
be
a touch.
well.
We're going for a touchdown. So we're going to get there in 2026. Mark our words
Are.
right here. It's
Mm-hmm.
recorded, so that means it's true. We're putting it out
We're
there.
manifesting.
But it's December. It is what, December 4th? And probably about a year ago today, right around this time, we set a date for, I believe it was January 7th, that we are going to sit down and actually create this. So it's been a year that we have been dedicated to the Vow Factor. It didn't even have a name a year ago, which is
It
crazy.
didn't. And honestly, it didn't take us that long to come up with a name because it was like once we sat down and just, I don't know, it was like that first meeting and then we were talking about it and we were going back and forth quite a bit. Everything just kind of flowed and fell into place. And I feel like when things are flowing in your life, it's really important to pay attention as into like what's flowing, what's not flowing. And it's like this was a really good path for both of us to be on. This was all meant to be. You guys are all supposed to be here listening to this with us, and it's been so cool because throughout the year we've gotten to meet a lot of you guys in person. We obviously just shared that we were just like shook about the whole Spotify Wrapped thing.
I can't really wrap my brain around it. Like,
Taylor Swift got engaged. Like, I
yeah.
mean, it's
I
just
mean, this year
it's
has been
crazy.
crazy. I feel like we should go back to the beginning.
Let's go again. Let's go back to the beginning.
A
Very
very
good
good place to
place to
start.
start.
Um,
Again, bring
who's
it back
gonna
again.
comment if you're gonna miss Emily singing in every episode?
I feel so bad, you guys, because I'm still recovering from just like allergies. So sorry if I'm like coughing or nasally or whatever, but the singing's going to be extra bad today. I'm just going to warn you.
Well, it's okay. My voice is still a little bit gone. I went to the WIPA gala here in New York the other day, and it was really loud, so I was kind of yelling to talk to people. And I woke up the next day and I was like so raspy and like had such a low voice.
That's a sign of
So
a good time, though. Not
it
mad
was.
about that.
It was a great time. So yeah. So if we don't sound like us,
That's
you
why.
know it's us though. You know.
All right,
Okay.
January. Hit it.
Well, January is when this was born. We
Yes.
sat down. Emily was moved to Florida, just moved to Florida, and we did not know how we were going to do this because we no longer lived in the same state. When we had come up with this idea initially was spring of 2024. It
Actually,
wasn't
it
a
was in
podcast.
January of 2024.
January, it wasn't a podcast.
It wasn't
It
a
was an
podcast.
idea for something of where we hope this might go. But we were literally living 10 minutes from each other. I believe it was 13 minutes door to door on the subway.
Door to door service.
It was
Love it.
crazy. And so then a year later we were like, we have to kind of figure this out. And so we were like, you know what? We live in 2025. We have FaceTime. It's gonna be okay.
It's going to be fine.
And we were like, the first thing we have to do is come up with a name. Emily came up with the name. We had two names we were down to. It was the Vow Factor and one other. And the second Emily said it, I was like, that's it. The other one was my idea, and I still like it, but someone else actually took the name.
They
So
did.
they did.
Do you want to tell them what it was?
We were between the ringleaders and the Vow Factor, but the second Emily said the Vow Factor, I was like, that's it. So many
I feel
ideas
like
just came to mind.
I feel like when someone says like the wow factor, they do like jazz hands immediately, and then it's like the vow
Vow
factor,
Factor.
and I'm like, this is so like the theater kid in both of us.
I
Just
was just gonna say, like, it just felt really theatrical, and it felt like we could just have so many different things come from this. We decided to start a podcast because we have such a bigger vision, but we really wanted to build community and have a really strong foundation with the wedding industry, with other wedding content creators. Nothing these days is possible so transparently without a following and a community, most importantly. So we're like, we need to put us out there. We need to try and spread the education and the advice and meet new people and faces and bring people together in order to accomplish bigger goals.
Right. And also too, like I and I know this was true for you as well, but like I just was so fed up living in a world where every single time being a wedding content creator, walking into work, having to be like, "Hi, I'm Emily. I'm the wedding content creator for the day. I won't get in your way." Blah, 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 blah. And it's like I shouldn't have to walk into work and immediately be like, "Oh, just don't worry about me. I'm just a little content creator here." No, like I want to be respected when I walk into work, and just the chatter in the wedding industry and all of that. We just like we're not a respected role at the beginning of the year prior
That
to
was,
us really starting this. And that was
and
like a lot of fuel to this fire.
I was going to say that was totally how this started. And like everything that we've done so far has stemmed from that. You know, kind of going into back in January, we were like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We talked a little bit about how we first kind of got started and like maybe our first or second episode. But since that was quite a while ago now, um, we ended up saying that we want to have a true aesthetic and like public vision for this, so that way it was recognizable, and that way people would also just immediately associate like wedding content creator, Vow Factor, important, has like respected. We had like an
Has it
actual
together.
stance, like we have a
Yeah.
stance. And so we started to kind of brainstorm everything. January, February, we're like, we need to do a photo shoot. One, we need any excuse for a photo shoot.
We love a
But
good photo shoot.
but the photo shoot ended up being one of our favorite memories, I would say, of the year. Do you agree?
I agree.
Um,
It was literally the best weekend.
it was, but not only like because we had a good time, but because of what it ended up really standing for.
Hmm.
At the time, we were obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter and the Short and Sweet tour, and we still are. We both just saw it, and it was amazing. And we were like, we love how that was so recognizable, and you automatically knew like it was Sabrina, and you knew that it what she stands for and what she does and her purpose and what she wants to portray to the world. And we were like, let's take that and kind of make it our own. And it ended up being so powerful because we were like in this really cute peer space. And we were like, you know what? We're not going to sit around and be like, you know, a 50s
Be
housewife,
the
like people
little wife.
telling us what to do and us apologizing for everything and kind of using that as like a really nice metaphor
Yeah.
for how we feel going in and feeling like we have to like work around everyone and this, like, we're not going back in time.
Yeah.
And, you know, that we kind of just wanted to like marry those two ideas, and it ended up being like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the press preview that we had put together, and it says, "This isn't the behind the scenes. This is the revolution." And it's us with like our little Diet Coke mini rollers in our hair in the kitchen next to the Smeg fridge, like looking very much like, a done up 1950s housewife. And we're like, we're not here to cater to your opinions and beliefs of what we are and what we should be. Like, we are our own businesses, providing our own thing. We are
We're writing our
independent.
own story, and we're
We're writing
writing.
our own story, and like I don't work for photographers, I don't work for videographers, and I'm sure as hell not showing up to work and being told what to do by them.
No,
I work for the couple. Unless I'm there to specifically work for a vendor, but 9 times out of 10,
but even so,
my
you're
couple is the boss for the day, and if they want
right.
content, then they get content.
Right.
And I'm going to
uh
deliver while being respectful and being a team player, of course.
well, yes, just as many things can be true and done at the same time. So,
That's right.
but I feel like creating this was such a passion project for us. And I ended up flying down to Florida a couple of times, from probably end of January to April, maybe two or three
Mhm.
times, we have so many vlogs from that time, and we want to put those all together because it's so fun, and we kind of forgot that we had them. So, um, just us kind of coming up with ideas and making Pinterest boards and vision boards and kind of writing scripts of what we thought episodes could look like. And it's so funny the way we started episodes to the way that they are now is so different. And just to see the evolution is really cool
Yeah.
to look back on. And
And seeing
we
what you guys want too out of it through the entire evolution.
well, the evolution was because of our
Yeah.
incredible listeners. Like, whenever we put polls on our story, like we genuinely want your feedback, we want your answers, because at the end of the day, like we can't do this without you.
Right.
So we started this because we knew how we felt, but we also know that everyone else feels a certain way. And if we can be the voice and kind of the connection between the disconnect in the industry around wedding content creation, we're going to do it. So we want everyone's feedback. We want everyone's opinions and all of it because everyone's entitled to it. And there's, as Emily says, there's a solution to every problem.
There
So
is. There's
we're
always a solution.
there's always a solution, and it doesn't necessarily mean compromise in like a negative way. um Truly, I'm pretty sure most of it just comes down to communication issues, but that is
Pretty
that is
much. That's if I've learned anything this year, I mean, it really comes down to how well people are able to communicate with each other. And part of communicating is also listening
yes, that is, yes, that's half of it.
and like hearing people and, you know,
Hmm.
I think that's really important.
I
So,
agree.
so
um
what's something, okay, let's talk about like some good takeaways that you've had from this year. Like what do you feel are the most important things that you've learned? It can be business, life, obviously this podcast.
I think one of the most important things that I've come to do this year is to sleep on it. If I get an email that really frustrates me, if I have an interaction, and like I tend to have big internal emotions, and it's something that I know that I need to, like, if I react initially, I sometimes will regret it. So if I sleep on it and I wake up and I feel the same way, I already know that I'm definitely not overreacting or anything like that, because as a woman in business, oh, you overreact, you don't, but also, of course, sometimes I overreact. Like, that's just being a human being. So
Right. And
learning
sometimes too, like
to
you've got to make quick decisions. And like
totally,
sometimes, you
totally. But
know,
like, here's an example. Recently, I received an email from a planner and it just really rubbed me the wrong way. I read it down. Like, she was straight up telling me how to do my job, what to do, not to do, this, that. And I literally took a full day and a half, which I rarely do, to get back to someone. But I was like, this needs to be intentional and thoughtful, because if I answered that right away, I would have come across really in like not a good light. And so just learning this year to sleep on things. Of course, if it's in the moment, that's different, but that was a big like personal and business lesson that I've learned, and tried to really like input to my day-to-day life. um
that's a really good one. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important that is. And it's definitely a skill to develop
it
over time.
it's
And
hard.
when I first realized the importance of that, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, probably this year too, but it was learning a fact that, and maybe this is common knowledge to people, maybe it's not, but whenever you go to bed and you get a full night sleep, like at least 8 hours, your brain fully cleanses itself and it like washes out all of those like yucky feelings, yucky emotions, and you can wake up the next day and you're going to feel completely different about a situation because it's gone on like a self-cleaning mode in there while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's
Also,
why it's really good, the scientific, part of it, to sleep on it.
yeah, I mean, like, totally like, if let's just say you're at a wedding and something, you need to make a fast decision. You
Yeah.
also need to trust your gut. I think that's really important, is to trust your gut and, stick with it type of thing, in that moment, like, what's best and what to do. And communication is always so important. But if it's an email, if it's something that isn't so immediate, take the night to sleep on it. You have 24 hours to respond to someone. Even if they email you at 8 a.m., you can respond at 8 a.m. the next day. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I think with that, everyone, please get sleep. I know everyone's a little bit different, but prioritize sleep in your life. I know people have kids and lives and everything, and it's so hard, but if you can try and make that one of the top priorities, like, it just makes such a difference.
It'll change your life. Like I've just always been a sleepy girl. So I
You
but
know my sleeping issues.
she has sleeping issues, so that's
I do.
different. But ever since I was little, like I was like, oh, it's 9 p.m., like time for me to get in bed. Like I am so happy to go to bed on time every single night. I'm more of like a 10 hours a night kind of person. And if I don't get the 10 hours, I actually start having anxiety. Like if I have to wake up early the next day, then I know I'm going to be anxious about waking up early and I'm not going to get my 10 hours. And I know that I'm going to not be the best that I can be that day. And that freaks me out. So I mentally spiral if I'm not going to get 10 hours of sleep.
No, it
But
well,
it used to be seen as like a lazy thing, or I used to feel like people would judge me for it and be like,
so
you
let
know,
them.
that's what I've
Let
learned.
them. One of
It's been
my
a
great book.
big thing for me this year. One, let them. Two, also trust your gut. But also sleep is a really good and powerful thing. And I think it's what has helped me be able to ground and center myself through my year this year specifically, because this year has been nuts for me. And
What is
somehow,
your biggest takeaway from the year?
oh my gosh, I feel like I have a couple. I want to go off of what you said, though, for trusting your gut, because that is something that I have had to work on for myself a lot this year, because
Mhm.
I've gotten a lot better, but I'm very much a recovering people pleaser. And if you want to grow and scale a business, you cannot be a people pleaser. It doesn't go together. So
It's hard. It's
you got to
hard to
reel it
not.
in as fast as you can, because you will destroy everything that you have worked hard to build. And I say
So
that you're
true.
destroying it because, yes, while you are, trying to be a nice, agreeable person, and you obviously have, very pure intentions, it's just like
People
it's
also
hard.
will walk all over you.
They
People
will.
people
They
in this
will.
industry will smell a people pleaser from 10 miles away, and they're like, "Oh, step, step, step."
Yep. So uh, it's a good balance of sleeping on it, but knowing when to take your power and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And this is the decision. And you just got to make the decision and move forward. So, but that relies on you trusting your gut quite a bit and knowing that you're making the best decision for yourself. And of course, inevitably, yes, you're going to make a wrong decision. You are going to regret something, but that is life. That is learning. That is growing. That is being challenged. And that is what all of us are here to do. None of us, came into this job or this world or this life knowing I know exactly how I'm going to do this and what I'm going to say to people and how things are going to go. No. We're all just learning and figuring it out. So give yourself a lot of grace. Um and that is something that I have really tried to focus on doing with myself this year. So trusting that I know what's best for me. And, if I need to pull back on something or if I need to give it a harder push or, whatever, then that is what I have committed to do. And I make the decision and I try to just move forward. So that's been a, big
Yes.
focus of mine.
For me personally, I started this year in coaching, which now feels so far away. I actually started at the end of December, so almost a year ago. And I've literally tried to implement what I learned in coaching, and I was working with a life coach who works with small business owners. So it wasn't necessarily a business coach, but it was so heavily focused on mindset. And that is hands down been the best thing that I've ever invested in. It's been the best thing that I could have ever done. And if I didn't do that, I wholeheartedly believe that I probably would have. I would not be doing this right here, right now, at all.
Yeah, it was, I mean, you were talking to me a lot about where your mindset was and where it was last year around this time versus where it is this year at this time. It's like night and day.
Night and day. And I was talking to someone who's very close to me, who's kind of going through a very similar season than I was, like maybe last year, like 2024. And I'm like, it's something that you need to put into like your daily habits. You
It's
need to,
foundational.
it's foundational. And like, honestly, more than anything, something that's really been able to help me. And I have them other like mental situations going on. Could talk about it at a later time. I'm open about it. But being able to recognize signs within yourself of maybe that something isn't balanced or you're feeling a certain way, being able to recognize that as a fact. This is how I'm feeling. And then being able to identify why you feel that way is the most important skill I think you can have, because how can you find a solution to a problem that you don't know?
Yeah,
If you can't identify what's wrong and what the problem is, how in the world are you supposed to fix it?
right.
Whether that's anxiety, stress, like doubt, like lack of like confidence, whatever it is, like if you and then you're like, why am I feeling doubtful? What has happened? Okay, cool. Now, what can I do? What are little steps that I can change? And like at the end of the day, we all know confidence is totally fake it till you make it. But at the same time, you have to make it through every day. So you have to find what works for you. And I think that has been just so momentous of a, is that a word?
That's a good way to put
Momentous?
it. Yeah,
Like
it's created
in my
it's
life.
yeah. It's brought you from
Monumental is the word,
foundational.
not momentous. I don't know what word that is. Monumental is the word I was looking for
Oh,
in my life.
I
This is
like
a huge thing
momentous
in
though
your life.
too.
I can Google it.
Because it
I don't
takes
know.
you from here if you build a lot of momentum and then everything just kind of took off when you got all of the foundational stuff solid, then you can kind of launch.
Yeah, and let's talk about launching for a second, because this is something that I need to remind myself about 6 times a day. Even airplanes that are going to take you from one destination to another, and they have all this momentum and they take off, they still have to go up and down.
Yeah,
And they still get to their destination, but just because you take off doesn't mean you can stop. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go up and then down. It's not going to mean that you're going to have like the worst week sometimes in a row and you're going to want to give up. You're
a
going to
very
feel like a
turbulent
failure.
flight.
It's a very turbulent flight, especially not only if running a business, it being your sole source of income. It's a turbulent flight. You're kind of on like Spirit Airlines, and you're like, are we gonna make it? I
And
don't
you're
know.
not in the big comfy chair.
Not Spirit. We're on Frontier. Spirit will get you. Frontier, I don't
We
know.
don't know. We don't know.
But
I
like,
think
do you
that's
know what
such
I
a good
mean?
way to put it. Especially, it's just like, I don't know. This year has been so interesting for me because I have spent it so much on an airplane.
Well, yeah, you
So
know.
I really attached to this analogy full on. But
You know, I love an analogy.
you
I
know I
mean,
love one too.
like,
I This is a good one because it's just like,
I feel like
all the things that you mentioned, but then also too all of your relationships and all of the outside factors too. You can't control very much.
that control. Okay, I'm like, that's it. That's another thing that we both have highly learned this year. You cannot worry about things that you cannot control. It will ruin you
Yep.
mentally.
And guess
And
what?
affects
They
everything.
always work themselves out. Even the craziest shit that I have gone through this year, everything has worked itself out.
Do you have like an example that you'd want to like share? I don't put you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've had certain things with, like, some of my friends where a lot of people just, like, truly don't understand what I do and how exhausting it is, and that is okay. I understand that not a lot of people are gonna get it because they're not doing it. So, there's going to be, you know, people, all like, every single person that I know very well has had, like, a, you know, "Oh, you can't come because blah, 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 or this happened," or whatever. They're like, "Okay, are you good?" But, like, still not understanding why I can't make something work out. Although it seems like it could be easy, but also I'm exhausted. I can't. I gotta prioritize my sleep and my work at this point in time. And that's okay. Maybe next year will be a little bit more chill and it'll be good. But, there's just been just like such a lack of understanding, and it's made me realize that, you know, it is what it is. Like, I can show up to the best of my ability and be the best friend and the best person that I can. And at this point in time, I am pouring into the cup of my business more so than I am pouring into the cup of my friendships and outside relationships and things like that. It's just the season of life that I'm in. It doesn't mean that I love anybody less. And, I really, really appreciate, more than they will ever know, all of the friends and people that have stuck by my side and just been like, even if they don't totally get it, they're still there. And it's like we can pick up like we, haven't had any time apart, you know?
Yeah, but
So
it's a season, and
it's a
you go
season.
from one season to the next. It's not always going to be like this, but I
No.
mean, I'm pretty
And
sure it's pretty common. Maybe it's not common, but like, you know what? I don't think it's common knowledge. If businesses, like, you have to put pretty much 24/7 dedication into it for years before you could even start to be like, I'm in a good place.
right.
Like
It's a
it's
lot of sacrifice. And
it's a
like
lot of sacrifice.
you are gonna sacrifice, you
Ha-
know,
Happy to do it,
yeah, lots of.
wanting to do it,
Yes.
hard.
So, you know, I I learned how much I really love my job this year. I knew that I did, but like, my God, think this is how my life has been for the last, I don't know, consistently since March, I would say. So from March until literally last week, my life has been Thursday or Friday, fly out to New York, work either Friday and Saturday, or just Saturday, or sometimes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, sometimes Sunday, and either fly home on the first flight out at 6 a.m. on Sunday, which requires me to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning after working until maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning the night before,
Literally
just so
going
I
home and
can
just packing
spend,
your stuff.
yeah, just so I can spend Sunday with my husband, because otherwise we wouldn't see each other. Then I crash around, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. And then Monday, I got to turn around edits. Usually also Tuesday, I got to respond to inquiries and client calls, um, and, make sure all of that is taken care of. And then Wednesday, like, maybe have a second for myself, but like usually not really. And then Thursday, back again, back at the airport again, packed up, ready to go. And it has been like boom, boom, boom all year long. Then on top of that, we did this podcast, which I've really loved too. But it's been a really crazy marathon of a year, and I wouldn't have had it any other way, except for the fact that I am moving back to the tri-state area, because I realize how much I also value time with my family and my friends, and I want to make sure that I'm able to get that in, because it really does take a full day out of you to do the travel back and forth. So I don't even remember the point that I was trying to make, but I had to get that off my chest.
I honestly don't either, but like it just goes to show that, sacrifice.
Sacrifice, and that you really got to love what you do to
Yeah.
make this work, because I feel what I was getting to was, I feel like this year tested me and challenged me. And I feel like there's some areas where I didn't mean to make things harder for myself, but I definitely did by moving out of the tri-state area. But I took a very big risk in business, which I think is important for, people to hear too. Take risks. Don't be afraid. I took a risk by saying, hey, I have the same type of clients in South Florida that I do in New York City. So I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to move there and I'm going to try to expand and grow my business there. And then I spent the entire year being in New York. New York was like, I love you so much, babe. Get back here.
Yeah,
We're not done. That's fine with me.
I know. I'm really fine with it too. You can come back
I'm very fine with
now.
it. I'm excited. I'm excited to have our Bergdorf dates and like to not make everything, every hangout that we have pretty much,
A
mostly about
business
work.
meeting.
Yes, because otherwise,
That's
when are we going to get
totally
the time to do it?
true. I think that it's really important to acknowledge the amount of work and sacrifice and time and effort that goes into this. But at the same time, I mean, I know that you and so many other wedding content creators specifically feel this way of sometimes like during the week is that feels like when I would go into work, like when I had the job and I went into work and like I don't entirely want to be doing this work, but then I show up on a wedding day and I am so happy to be there. Like I'm always on a call and I'm like, I'm so like I love this one. And like I'm not lying. If trust me, if I didn't love this, I wouldn't be doing it. You can't fake it. So like you can fake it for a little bit, but you can't fake it
Yeah,
for long. It will take everything out of you.
it
It
will take
does.
everything. It will
But like
take everything.
you
If you,
you know that you love your job when you show up and you are so excited to be there. You're not checking the clock to see when your break is. You're not checking the clock to see how much longer of a day it is. And look, I know that there's weddings that like don't always go to plan and it's not your favorite. It doesn't, but like it truly is so exciting to show up on a wedding day. And if you don't work in the wedding industry, you don't get it. But it is unlike any other industry. Truly.
it feels magical every
It
single
is.
time I go to work. Every single time. I've done this over and over again this year.
What other job are you showing up on the most like magical special day of someone's life? And up until that point, probably the best day of their life.
Yeah.
Like a day that can never be redone, a
Hmm.
day that is so celebratory, a day where you have all of your favorite people in the same room. I have chills. Like when like, what other job is that?
Yeah.
That's why it's important to vet your vendors. Make sure they feel this way.
Make sure
Or,
they feel so giddy, even after shooting like 100 events this year. Check in with them and make sure they're still excited.
but it's so funny because, like, I mean, I feel like I'm really lucky that I have a really diverse range of weddings that I get to shoot. And so I always kind of feel like it's so new. Like, it's in a different location. Like I go to so many new like I think I repeated maybe like 3 venues this year. Every other was something new. And
I
I
love that.
loved that because it was so exciting. It was something new, but then also every couple of times it was something a little bit familiar, but completely new couple, new team to work with, new design, new everything. Like and now I know people now are like, weddings are such like they're so overdone. I'm like, are you kidding? People get to have so much fun and add so much personality to their weddings, and like those weddings are
Yeah.
so fun for
Let
your
them have fun.
vendors. Like they're so fun. We love to get to see your personality. We love all the uniqueness and the intention behind these wedding days that it's literally the best. I'm like, now we're kind of in slow season where we don't have too many things, not like, kind of the
Yeah.
end of spring to fall run. And I'm like, it's nice for like a week. And then I'm like, anyone have a winter wedding that they want shot? Let me know. I enjoy going to it. I don't
Yeah.
care that it's a Saturday. Like,
Yeah.
when I first fell into this, literally, like everyone's like, you have to work weekends, right? Yeah, I
I got
know.
that too.
But I
It
don't
was like the weirdest
care.
thing. I'm like, okay,
Honestly, I like working weekends so much better than during the week.
I do too. I don't
Is that
know.
controversial?
It feels like a glitch in the matrix to not, I mean, we definitely still work during the week, but like we don't have to physically show up and go
That's what
do,
sorry.
yeah.
No, you don't like go in. Like we
Yeah,
like
you have more
we're
control.
flexible during the week. Like
Yeah, you have more control
I
of your
can
schedule during the week, which is really nice. So if you want to prioritize like going to Pilates or
getting your
calling your mom
going to the
or
dentist, like,
yeah, taking care of yourself in any way,
cleaning your
you
house,
can.
doing your laundry. Like we
Going
have
to Target in the middle
so
of the
much
day for no
flexibility.
reason.
Totally. We have so
Yes.
much flexibility during the week, but like going in and having a set schedule of that work time is primarily on the weekends. And like
Also,
it just doesn't
weekends
bother.
are overrated for having them as your only days off because also everybody else has the weekends off. So all of your restaurants that you want to go to are packed. There's not any good happy hour deals. Everybody's trying to do all the same stuff. And if
Yeah,
you're free
it's
on the weekdays, I mean, you could go to the movies for like $5. You could get good happy hour deals. You can always get into your favorite restaurants. Like, I
you
don't
can go
know.
see a
It's elite.
matinee on
Elite.
Thursday for like $20.
Right?
Literally go to the box office. I
So I'm
mean,
actually saving money. I'm actually making more money technically by working on the weekends because I get to do all of my favorite weekend activities during the week
hmm
and they just cost less, which is just like a great bonus of this job. So,
I mean, there are so
jokes
many
on
perks.
everybody who's like, "You work on the weekends?"
There are
Yeah.
so many perks to our job. It's not even funny. Like I never I in March or April, whatever it was of 2023, if you were like, "Oh, you're going to go to Fashion Week, you're going to fly to Miami to go to a runway show, you're going to work with Haley Page, you're going to be able to walk into wedding salons here and they're going to know who you are. You're going to get to work with the coolest couples and you're going to like meet these people who have the most creative and incredible minds." I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. Sure. Okay. People are going to trust you to capture their um non-redoable day.
Yeah.
I'd be
One
like,
take. We're one take wonders. Okay.
sure they are. Fast forward, March will be 3 years. Well, since getting engaged. So since I guess the idea was planted. But
It's crazy. I'm on so the last day that I worked was the 26th and that was my 3-year business anniversary, November
happy
26th.
anniversary.
Thank you.
3 years.
3 years.
Going into your
My last event of the year, so it was very special. I got to work with a new planner who like crazy beautiful wedding. I was like, what am I doing here? This is amazing.
don't you love those moments? You're like,
I do. I'm
I'm
like,
here.
what? Yeah.
Like
You
I
wanted to work with me? Okay, girl. Okay. It's a pinch me moment. So
a
it was
lot of
cool. It was a cool way to spend my business anniversary and my last working day of the year. Um so also to add on really quick before we jump into probably our craziest story of the year is I know that, when you guys are building your business, you're going to be really busy. I think a really good hack is to take December off. That is what I have done. I know that not everybody can do that, but if you can, when you get to that point, do it. Taking the whole month off. I'm very happy that I did. I've worked like crazy, traveled like crazy this year, and I'm glad that I set up my year in this way because I've really, really needed this reset. I didn't know if I was going to make it to the reset. I'm going to be honest with you. I've done everything that I can to keep myself sane.
I don't have December off, but it sounds like a really nice idea. It does.
It's good. It's good. So that might be something moving forward every year that maybe I do for myself. But we'll see how it goes. Just to clue you guys in, I actually took December off because I'm getting my boobs done, getting a boob job.
Mm-hmm.
say goodbye
in
to the
like
itty bitty titty committee
in like
because
5 days.
yeah, I'm so excited. But I knew I wanted to give myself time to heal, and I, didn't know how I was going to be feeling. And obviously, to be a content creator, you need to be able to lift your arms a little bit. So I thought that would be the perfect time to do the surgery and recover and then go into the holidays and all of that stuff. And I didn't take a New Year's Eve wedding this year like I did last year. So all good for being on the mend. But
Yeah.
I I'm really excited to tell them what we did earlier this year because they don't know. We kind of kept a little secret from you guys, but you'll understand why in a few minutes.
Um, so we sometimes are very ambitious and
Us ambitious? What?
but like we said in the beginning of this podcast, we have a vision and we have a goal, and we don't really like to take no for an answer, and we really don't, we know time is really important, but at the same time, who's to say how much time you need before you try and get signed to a network? I mean, 2 months, 2 years,
The day
who
you
knows?
launch?
Before you launch.
We got home from our like podcast launch couple days. So we launched on a Monday. We went out to lunch with our moms. We had cake at my apartment with our families, and then you went with your you left with your mom, right? After that?
Mhm.
Okay. So after you left, I was like, who works with the network that we want to, pitch this to eventually? Cuz like we've talked about a couple different networks and we decided that we wanted to go with this one specific network. And like why not? We think that this podcast is great. We think it not only helps people that are involved in the wedding industry, whether you're getting married or whether you work in the industry. But we truly believe this is a great podcast for anybody that is listening. And that has been proven. I have so many people that I know that listen to this religiously every single week that don't work in the wedding industry or have any affiliation, but have gotten some really, really great tips. So I'm like, okay, here's what our audience is. Here's where they're listening. Let me just go see on LinkedIn who works there. Let me go friend request them on LinkedIn. Let me connect. I figure out that one of my friends from middle school, who I am still friends with, is in the book club with the person who is the assistant to the founder of the person of this network that we pitched to. So I'm like, okay, I text my friend. I'm like, can you make an intro? It would be amazing. If not, like no pressure. And she's like, we're in book club together. Like, yeah, I'll make the intro. So I was like, great. So she talks to this girl about what we're doing, our podcast, everything. And she's like, oh, just, send her a pitch. And I was like, okay, great. So I talked to Jesse and I'm like, all we have to do is send her a pitch. And Jesse and I are talking about it, and we can never do anything just like normal.
Little normal.
Yeah,
So
no.
we're on the phone. We're actually on the phone. And we were talking with someone else we work with, and we were like, okay, we need all of our minds together. Like, this has to be the best thing that they've ever seen, something really unique. And Emily's like talking, and I'm like, guys, I have an idea. What if? So, like, what we're trying to do, like, it's not that hard, right? Emily just was like, what? It's not that hard. And I was like, guys, we are Elle Woods. What if we
What?
remake
Like it's hard?
Elle Elle Wood's Harvard admissions video essay? But what if we rewrite the script to fit what we want to do with this network? And then I say it, and they're like, that's what we're doing.
That's exactly what we're doing.
This was
Like,
in like May, June,
yes. I
June.
think
It
it,
was in
I
June.
think it was, yeah, it was shortly after we launched, like a couple weeks after, because we were like, when are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? We originally were going to film it at my apartment and do it very similar to the way the Harvard video essay goes. And I had a pool. And so we were going to like be in the pool and be like, oh, hi, blah, blah, blah. And we had like different places throughout my apartment building because it was like a really huge amenity building. We could kind of go into different spots and
Right.
they were
We had
perfect setup for everything.
a plan for it.
We had a good plan. And then we went back to the drawing board and realized we need to make this more about us and less Elwoods, but they're gonna get obviously the inspo and the concept behind it. Because we're gonna keep some of the same verbiage that Elwoods uses. But I was like, we should be in New York. We
Well,
should be doing
yeah.
the iconic things around New York. We should be at one of our favorite wedding venues during a wedding if we can figure that out.
So, right. So we start like spitting out all these ideas, and then we were like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fly down to Florida. I can't, like, we need to do this our way, and our way is um watching Legally Blonde. So we watched Legally Blonde because we needed the inspo. We ordered about $75 worth of candy, and then we sat in the little Emily's like apartment building had a movie theater, and so we like reserved it, and we sat there for about 4 hours going back and
Until
forth
2 o'clock in the morning. We were there from
writing the
like
script.
6 p.m. until 2 o'clock in the
but
morning.
but like we have our best ideas like in the middle of the night, as Taylor Swift does as well, so like it just makes sense. So at midnight, and we sat there and we were going back and forth, and we were like looking at the script, and we were like this, and then we're like, okay, where do we need to go for like each seed? What is the theme that we're going to like build this around? We were all over the place. We were at the Met because obviously Gossip Girl. Like you have to channel the queens of the Upper East Side.
Of course.
Um, and then we had so many ideas. We wanted to do like the Rainbow Room or like the Empire State Building. Like we had Rockefeller Center. We had like all of these ideas
For each scene.
for each scene. And then do you want to say where we ended up?
For the wedding scene.
Yeah,
So,
honestly,
oh my
it
god,
was
this was
really impressive.
we not only did we sneak into the Plaza Hotel during a wedding, not while the wedding was going on. It was like in the middle of the day, so they were very
They
much
were like
still
setting up.
setting up. Like we would never, interfere with someone's wedding day. And we didn't even go in the ballroom, the ceremony space. Like we were very much like still in a public area of the
Yeah,
Plaza
but we
Hotel.
weren't supposed to be there.
But we
There's
weren't
like so
supposed to
much
be there.
security. But as
Um,
we're walking in, Emily sees a photographer, I think it was.
a photographer friend
As we're walking
in front of the security guard.
in
So it
front of the
was like
security guard, it was the
perfect
most
timing
perfect timing that has ever happened. We were shook to our core. We're walking past security, and they're like, "Oh my god, hey!" And I was like, "Oh my god, hey, how are you?" And I'm just like, "Oh my god, like so good," like just like smiling. And the security guard's like, "Oh."
Yeah, let us right in.
Past one security guard, we had to get through another one, and then that one, and we're like,
As long as
we're
you
with,
walk in. I mean,
we're
we were in suits, we were in hair and makeup. I mean, we looked phenomenal.
we
We
looked like we were
definitely
supposed to be there, but we're like, oh yeah, no, we're
yes.
with the florist. And they were like, oh, perfect. Turns out we get up there, and I'm like, the florist is going to recognize me because we work together all of the time. So we hid from the florist, and we recorded one take right outside like the main ballroom at the Plaza Hotel.
And it's so funny because this wedding, the wedding planner who we haven't worked with, you have, I think, but it was like an off thing. But she is notoriously known for being the scariest old school wedding planner in New York City to work with. And I had no idea that she was the planner. And
The one that I'm going to next week.
no,
I don't know who the planner was.
the one that yelled at you and your sister.
Oh, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
ew,
Yeah.
so
Um,
rude.
if I would have known that that was the planner for that wedding, it might have deterred us from going. Because if she would have passed by us, I don't know if we would ever work in the industry again. I'm not really
Meanwhile,
sure.
we were literally in a public space.
We were in a public space, but
There were other people walking there. They were just like,
yeah. And
whatever.
I mean, as it's so funny. Jesse and I are trying to figure out when the best time is to show you guys the final product of the video. But when you guys see this scene, and maybe we'll just release this scene because it's so funny, we're like literally quickly talking and whispering because we're so nervous and we're just trying to get the scene done and get the F out like as quickly as possible. Like we did it in one take and like we literally bolted out of the plaza before they found us out.
Yeah, we like
Um,
weren't looking at anyone. And
yeah,
then we
it was
but like
crazy.
but that was so funny and like so
But you got to take risks in business.
yeah, to say I was uncomfortable was an understatement.
And I just was like, we have one take. Let's go.
Well, like I meant like filming the video. Like you were definitely if you don't know, like I mean, she's talked about it a million times. But, like Emily, like totally grew up like in front of the camera on a microphone. I grew up hiding behind my mom's leg and under the table because I didn't want to talk to people. I had
Oh
horrible
my
stage
God.
fright,
You're
and then like
selling yourself so short though. Like
little
you,
when I was little, like that's how I was. I will call my mom right now and she will tell you. But then then I started to like I did dance when I was younger, but I didn't have to talk in front of anyone. So then I was like, I got a little bit more comfortable. And then in college, I had to do a public speaking class because I was a PR major for like a day. Long story, but like then whatever. I ended up getting really good at public speaking, but then I started to do content and then I was like, I have to learn how to talk in front of the camera in front of other people. Oh my God, it was so funny. I was like, you're doing great. And I was like, this is so funny.
you were
um,
so good. Honestly, like
it was
I
so
have an
funny though.
I have an on-camera background. Like both of my parents are actors. So I grew up in
Right.
that world. And honestly, for someone who didn't have all of that, Jessie literally memorized her lines on the spot,
Oh my God,
was so confident.
we didn't memorize them
Literally,
before.
we didn't.
We
Because again,
forgot.
we're working, with crazy schedules, not being in the same state. All of the odds are stacked against us. But let me tell you, when you guys see this video eventually, you'll see all of the locations we went to. You'll see how like the script was written so perfectly. The lines were delivered so perfectly. They were delivered with humor, with like great comedic timing, and most of those were done in one take, which is like really hard for people to do. So,
The only ones that we had multiple takes were the Met Steps and the ones where we had our editor. Our editor had to make a cameo.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but the majority of those scenes were done in one take, maybe two, but like
I think we
we were
filmed
just
it in
on
like an
such a
hour
tight
and a
schedule.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Boom, 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 boom. We had it
one of our
organized so well.
one of our amazing friends recorded it for us. She had like she has like professional like video cameras and like mics and everything. So like it was so helpful. And we were trying to figure out the days and like I know that like she had to be out by a certain time and then we couldn't start till a certain time. It was just a little bit hectic. So we were like, we have literally 2 hours to do this and we had to go
And
like
we
all
wanted
over
to
the
take her
city.
to lunch too. Like we wanted to
Yes,
treat her on the day
we did.
as
We went
well.
to Bergdorf's per usual. We actually ended at Bergdorf's. It was very
Yes.
us. It was very us.
Yes.
Most people don't know that, but it
That's our
was
spot. We go to the Goodman's Bar. So if you ever want to find us on a random Tuesday, that's probably
I was
where
gonna
we
say
are.
you'll find us there on a Tuesday for sure. Like Mondays are a bit crazy, but like a Tuesday for sure.
They know us
Tuesdays are
very
also
well there.
crazy.
The Diet
Uh
Cokes come out, the caviar comes out. It's a good
Immediately
spot.
the caviar chips down. Literally, guys, it's so good. If you're ever in New York, you should absolutely go there. Phenomenal.
Yes.
But yeah, that was like a really fun project. We filmed that in August. We sent it in to them. We know
With the
it was
whole regular pitch deck too, which
yes.
we had our editor edit the whole video, put it together. It turned out so good. We had Jesse's husband Henry help us put together this really beautiful pitch deck, as well as our social media manager because she also works in PR. So
Yeah.
she kind of learned, or she knows how to lay out all of the pitch decks. My friend Sam, who makes and reviews pitch decks all day, every single day, went through and made like all of these notes on everything. She was like so detailed with exactly what we needed to do. Like I will forever be grateful because I know she's busy too. And
Yeah,
then
she went through every single thing. We just like we had such a team. Like also like
yeah,
we may be funding this ourselves, but we are not doing this alone. Like literally
Yeah.
so helpful. Henry does all of our like branding, like all of the designs, our website, anything you see with like a font on it. Like he does. He did the whole pitch deck. We have a
Yeah.
social media manager who saves our life and is the reason that we're able to post during busy season because we barely post on our work accounts. It's
I
so
know.
hard.
So
We
busy.
we have a
Just,
full-time editor. He literally like we could like huge shout out to these people. Like we
yeah. They've
could
really,
not do this without them.
they've become our village. And,
they,
none of
they
this would have been
believe that
possible.
like they believe in like what we're doing
Yeah.
and they're so gracious with us with just everything and we truly could not do this without help. And honestly, I think that's it's a really important lesson in business is to know when to ask for help and when to accept it, um because it's also okay that you can't wear every single hat every single day all of the time.
Yeah.
I
And you
read some
shouldn't. Yeah.
no, I read something recently and it was like as a sole business owner, like you wear all of the hats until you can afford to like take one off and pass it on. And that is definitely true, but also your time is really valuable.
Mhm.
So it's also okay if like during maybe a time during the year or something and you really need help, it's okay and encouraged to ask for it.
Yeah.
Um, we realized very quickly in June because we decided to release this podcast right before busy season. And we quickly realized in June that we needed help posting and
And I was
we
like, good thing I've had this angel of a human, Bree. I actually hired her as an intern when I was working at an influencer marketing agency back in 2020. So she's been a part of my life for a very long time because we both left the influencer marketing agency and then I had a digital marketing agency and then obviously now wedding content creation and the podcast, and she has been with me pretty much every step of the way since 2020. So we're going on 6 years working together. That's crazy.
that is crazy. But like it's also so incredible and such a privilege to have people in your corner
Hmm.
through all the different seasons. So
Yes.
it's really important to thank them and make them feel appreciated. And it's just really important to have people that you can trust. And when you find those people, like, don't let them go. Like, hold
Right.
them close. Don't let them go. We have so many ideas, including wait, I think can we say the really exciting thing that will be official on January 1st? But we know it's happening.
Yes. I think we definitely should share this with them.
So back in April, we went through this insane process to try and get the Vow Factor trademark, and we got it approved. It went through, and as of it will be like officially on the system on January 1st. So what a way to start the new year. But that also means that we can do merch.
Yes, real
And
official merch with an
we
R and a circle around it
a
because we should be
circle because
registered,
it's
baby.
registered. We're so excited to update everything because right now it's like TM because that means like you've like put in to have it trademarked. But when it's an R, it means it's a registered trademark. And guys, this was like, oh my God, that was such a learning curve for sure. Like, had no idea, had never worked with an attorney before. But
You
it
can't
was
just call them up.
so you cannot just you can't even email them without it costing $700, just so you know. Like, oh my gosh. Thank
That's
goodness
okay.
we had like the most amazing, gracious lawyer
Our lawyer
ever.
has been a part of our village too. He actually really deserves a big
He
shout out for
really
everything he has
deserves
done to
shout
help
out
us
Peter. We
because yeah,
literally
he believes in us and has been very gracious with his time and very
you're
understanding of
actually
us.
gonna they're gonna meet him eventually next year. We have something planned. So
We do. We
we do.
do.
This year was so hectic, but we do have something coming up. So
We do.
featuring our incredible
Yes.
lawyer. But like I said, I was about to say, we have so many ideas, and one of those is merch because who doesn't love merch? And like we've had people be like, "Wait, where do I get these sweatshirts?" Um, and
Well, they're coming.
we're gonna upgrade, just so you know, because Emily said in a clip in like one of our episodes that we look like she feels like a Teletubby in it, and I told her that we have to get new ones. So yeah,
Well, my
I
sweatshirt is
can't do it.
way too big on me now, but
Oh, okay, we have to get new
we
anyway.
have to get new
It's
anyway, so
okay.
it's fine.
But like,
But we've had so many ideas for merch, and so that's coming. We have so many exciting things coming.
and we would
Um,
love to know what you would like and like what
yeah,
like we're in our bubble and we love to always get feedback and ideas and stuff from people outside of our little brain bubble, and it's always so helpful because it just totally helps us to like propel everything forward and be confident in those decisions.
yes,
This is so new for us, and like we said, you have to like trust your gut and be confident, but that can be really difficult when you genuinely have never, like, we don't know what we're doing because we've never done it before. We're just like using our knowledge and the internet, and shout out to ChatGPT,
and vibes,
truly, and vibes.
and
But like,
vibes.
knowing that when we go into something, knowing that it's something that you really want makes us feel really good about investing in that decision and
Yeah,
really like going all out. If you can't tell, we have a very hard time not going all out and like full in with everything that we do. Mostly because like you deserve it. You deserve to have someone in a place that will show up for you in the way that you deserve. And
exactly.
the industry and all wedding content creators deserve to have a voice and someone and something and place in a podcast.
Hmm.
Us to kind of speak to the rest of the industry. And honestly, I'm really excited to see what happens with content creation in 2026. Emily and I were on the phone the other day. I was on the phone with my other friends, and I'm like, even the conversations that I'm having now with 2026, and honestly, 2027 is coming up real soon. Couples is vastly different than 2024 and 2025. So I'm really curious to see kind of the evolution. We're so new still. Like I know it's been like 4 or 5 years that like most people, but like honestly, we're still in like that three mark of the majority of people that having being like the OGs, I guess. So
Yeah,
it's really it's really interesting to see what couples really want out of their content, what they want to use it for, what they value in it, how other vendors are valuing it. I honestly have seen such an incredible positive shift on the vendor side recently with a lot of conversations that I've been having with people.
me
There's
too. There's, like I said, like where we started at the beginning of this year compared to where we are now in terms of how vendors feel about content creators, I think is night and day.
night and day. And the negative, like, words are always going to be loud. They're always going to be loud because people need to have their, opinions heard of what they don't like and their critiques and everything. And that's fine. We're just going to be louder.
Yeah,
And it's really nice to see so much positivity and so much like respect and gratitude honestly towards content creators, because I just said I was at the WIPA gala a couple days ago, and WIPA is Wedding Industry Professional Association, I think it stands for. Basically a bunch of wedding industry professionals were there, and I got to just talk with so many people. And then when I said a year ago, if I told someone I was a wedding content creator, they're like, "Oh, cool."
yeah.
Anyway, like
Wouldn't have been
now they're
taken
like,
seriously.
but now that's not the reaction I'm getting. It's like, oh my gosh, actually love working with content creators. Like, you make our lives so much easier because I'm able to focus on my job as the planner, the florist, the entertainment, even like I was talking with this one amazing woman. She's a fashion illustrator and she goes to tons of weddings and events, and she's like, I want to hire someone to come and actually like take content of what I'm doing because I'm drawing like I can. And I'm like, exactly. Like it's for,
Exactly.
as our bio says, like what does it say?
For everyone.
No, it's like by wedding content creators for everyone. Like we
Yeah.
can truly make a difference. And I'm really excited that people are starting to see that as a really worthwhile investment, not just for couples, but also for other businesses. And um, other people are just really starting to. And, the newbies that are popping up here and there and people's bad experiences and what, there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
There's and all the new content creators out there, like you're gonna learn. It's okay. Everyone had their first day, and we have literally spent Emily 3 years uh learning, and so it just takes time. There's new photographers every day, and
Exactly.
you don't hear anyone yelling at them.
I know. And
So
here's the thing too. Going into 2026, there's so much more information available for people who want to become wedding content creators. There's plenty of people now offering courses, there's people vlogging it, there's people like us who have a podcast now and are talking about it and providing all of this free education and knowledge and stories of things that have worked out and things that haven't worked out. And I think the wedding industry is definitely going to see, people come to work, content creators come to work for their first day on the job and just have a little bit more to work with than, for example, like when I went to work for the first day and I just thank God I had gotten married the year before so I could call my wedding vendors and ask them, like, what is the etiquette? What the heck do I do? Because I know not a lot of people have that. And if I didn't, I would be going in not knowing anything and just kind of hoping for the best and like trying to be as respectful as possible. But also, what I didn't know, I didn't know.
and honestly, even now, sometimes I come up with to a new situation that I've never been in
Sure.
before.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know, but like we said, honestly, do your research and
Yeah.
really talk to people. Like, there's just so many people that you can reach out to and talk to. There's courses, there's mentorships, there's like YouTube videos, there's so many TikToks. Like, there's people so willing to help. So I feel like you
Yeah.
have
Reach
you
out for
have
help.
you have such a good like community right now to reach out to, and like I feel like there's no reason that you show up to a day and like don't know how a wedding day flows. There's so many
Right.
resources. So I feel like the poor first experiences are just going to be less and less and less this
I
year,
think so too. I think so
which
too.
is great.
So, 2026, what can you expect from the Vow Factor?
What can we expect from the Vow Factor? Well,
So,
one, comment what you want.
yes, comment what you guys are looking for. We have a lot of stuff that we are bringing in to season 2 that we're not going to share with you guys quite yet because we got to have a little element of surprise in there. But it's good. It's really, really good stuff. You guys are going to love it. And going into season 2 with a registered trademark is extremely helpful. Let me let me
Yes.
tell you guys that.
So we are going on a little bit of a break.
Yes.
And then before we pick up season two, like we said, we don't do anything half-assed for lack of better words, but we have a lot planned. And I will say the only hint you get for season two is we are giving you guys the number one requested thing that we get. The
Yes.
number one request you're getting. So
You're getting.
you might be able to figure out what that is.
So
But
that is on the way, my darlings.
we are behind the scenes, like especially now that our wedding seasons are pretty much done. I literally have 3 left. That's it. And I am literally we're spending all of the next what 2-ish months on the back end working so hard to really bring not just a great experience but a lot of education, and we're gonna make some
Lots of
noise.
interesting conversations are
Yeah.
coming your way. So we will see you again back in this format May 12th, 2026.
Yes. And if you see us before, make sure you're following us on all social platforms because we may or may not see you a little bit before then.
We may or may not.
So,
We're just going to drop a hint. So make sure that your notifications are turned on
yes,
if you don't want to miss that, because anything that we do between now and then, you will be notified via Instagram and TikTok. Um, and where can they find you besides the Vow Factor, Jesse?
you can find me at Wedding Day Content Co. on all platforms, including YouTube, coming soon. And if you want to follow my personal life, it's the Jessie Lee _. Because why not?
Because
I
why not?
gotta post all the fun things. But honestly, follow me on TikTok right now because I'm doing Vlogmas and it's really fun. So,
Yeah, she pops off on Vlogmas, and you just have one TikTok, Wedding Day Content Co.
Wedding Day Content Co. If you see me on other TikToks, it's because I had an account, but I only post on Wedding Day Content Co. right now. So,
Yes.
follow me
And
there
then
for everything.
yeah, her stuff is so good. She posts like the TikToks are fire. And then
Where,
her personal Instagram is filled with like all of these beautiful outfits. So if you need any style inspo,
yeah,
definitely look at her Instagram and follow her because she's really good at it.
2026 is the year of influencing for us, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Why not?
So
Content creator
go
to the
follow us.
extreme. Yes. So for me, my personal is NYC Emily, which is crazy. It literally just is NYC Emily, EMILY, on both Instagram and TikTok. And then if you want to follow my business page, it's Wedding Day Content Creator on both Instagram and TikTok. I did start another separate Instagram and TikTok for just like vlogging wedding content creator life, and it's called Wedding Content Life. But other than that, I haven't really posted on it in a while because I'm trying to figure out if everything needs to be on like NYC Emily because that's my personal or
It's
whatever. So it's a
hard.
work in progress. But me
Yeah.
and ChatGPT, we've been chatting about it. She's been giving me therapy on it. So also I do have a YouTube channel that I do plan on posting lots of vlogs that I've had from this year. I just haven't had a second to get them edited and uploaded.
Yeah,
But
that's why I
those will
said
be,
pending soon. But
yeah,
I
pending soon. YouTube NYC Emily. I'm going to just lock that in and say that's where I'm posting them.
amazing. I'm Wedding Day Content Co. confidently across the board, except Instagram. You can also follow my personal account. And Jessie is with no I. It's JESSE. And I can't wait to see you. Um,
Yes.
we we're not stopping posting. We're just taking a break from podcasting so that way we can marinate all of the ideas and take everything in. And we're so excited already for May 12th. May 12th is our date. Mark it in your calendar from now until forever. We will always come
Yes.
back to you on May 12th, and then we will be with you every single Monday, at
I
least.
can't wait. I also just want to take time and thank you guys so much for everything. We wouldn't be able to have a season 2 or anything in between without you guys listening. This podcast has become my absolute favorite thing that I get to do, and I get to do it with my best friend, which is like the cherry on top of all of it. And it is just, while it has been an insane year for me, this has kept me very grounded, very excited. And I also really like that we get to chat with all of you guys and help you. And just thank you guys so much for all that you guys do. Literally just listening and hanging out in our DMs and all of that. I look forward to it every single week, and I feel a little like it's bittersweet that we got to take a break, but I know that it's the right thing to do to continue delivering you guys the
Quality.
absolute best quality podcast that we can. But like Jesse said, we're not going anywhere. Come and hang out with us on our other platforms. We welcome
Also,
all of you guys. Ask us your questions.
I was going to
We're
say,
always
like,
here.
we may not be posting a podcast episode every week, but we are here for you. You can reach out to us. We both have different mentorship coaching programs that if you ever need help, like, please don't hesitate to reach out to us either on the Vow Factor in DMs or in our personal business DMs. We are truly here to help you and also create just more awareness. So the more that we get to chat, the better and more amazing things that we get to do. And it's truly all thanks to you.
Yes. Oh my
So,
gosh. Ah,
and the next time you see us, Emily will be living in the tri-state area.
I'll be in New
Apartment to be
Jersey.
determined.
Woohoo! But
she will
yes,
she will really earn her NYC Emily name back because it was a
I
little
will.
bit like Palm Beach Emily for a minute there.
It was, I had this idea to be called That Palm Beach.
It doesn't really fit you. I
It
know
doesn't
you're
really
from
fit.
Florida, but like, just come on back. Like, I'm
I'm a
looking
New
at the
Yorker.
skyline.
I'm a New Yorker through and through. And New York said, I love you back. New York was like, you're
It
mine.
did. It did. I feel like it is the perfect time. This podcast has happened on its own time, and we are just kind of following the flow. And I promise it will not be too long before you see us again. So
Hint,
we are
hint, wink,
so
wink, nudge,
hink hink,
nudge.
wink wink, nudge nudge.
I'm a really ugly winker.
You can't
Not really. Like, I don't know. And I don't even
like
have a lot of Botox in right now. So it's like my actual wink. It's just like not hot. I don't know. Anyway, if you're a sexy winker,
during
give us a
this
wink.
during this time of year, we recognize that there's so much to be thankful for and grateful for, and we just know that every single day we are so grateful and thankful and excited about this platform that we're building, this community that we're building, and we are just very happy to have you.
We love you guys so, so much. I can't wait for the day where we get to do like events and we get to meet you guys in person and like, I don't know, do this podcast live maybe.
I know. I feel like one day maybe we'll share some very general big dreams and see where people think
Yeah.
what they think about it. But I feel like a meetup in 2026 can be very possible.
It could be very possible. Let us know. You just tell us and we'll make it happen.
All right. We are signing off for 2025 for season 1, and we will see you in 2026. So have a happy and healthy and wonderful holiday season and new year. And
If you need us, we're here for you.
we are here for you. And we will be back here on our podcast in 2026.
Yes. Love you all.
Kisses on her.
Bye.
Bye.